Hi guys, Flight Instructor Watts here, and we are going to be doing a tutorial on the exploration career. It is 3 of 5. Yep, 3 of 5. We have just got back from our mission to collect our stuff. So what we're going to actually do is we got a Bantam for it. If you're in one of the other factions, you'll have a similar ship with similar stats. If you right click it and show info, it will tell you in the traits. This is a small fitting module ship. It does shields as defensive, and it supports hull able to repair resist other vessels. Blah blah blah. Anyway, this doesn't do anything to do with scanning. I know Amar has a scanning ship. I'm not sure about Caldari. Well, obviously Caldari doesn't because I am Caldari, but I'm not sure about Glanty or Minimatar. But anyway, we close the wrong window. Going to right click that, assemble ship, and then we're going to jump into it, make active. What we are going to do, however, if we right click and repackage our Ibis or our newbie ship, if we go to the item hanger, right, let's just open up our fitting window. Right, now we have our base. So what we want to do is we definitely want to put that on there, and we definitely want to put that on there because that's for our relics and that's for our civilians. And what we want to do is our core probes scanner, make sure that's on there. Get your core program core scanners. There's 8 of those. View market details. Don't worry about this, just buy 8 more. We'll go for the, well, they're all the same price, but it doesn't matter. So anyway, we'll go for another 8, and there's a reason for that, and I'll show you that in a minute. Collect 8 more, and now we've got 16. We'll drag them onto the ship to reload the weapon, and we'll drag the rest into the cargo hold to put them in there. We don't have any more turrets. Oh yes, we do. We do have turrets for some guns. Do we? Yes, we do. Let's go and stick them on as well because that is always handy. We will recharge them and we will put that in our cargo hold as well. Bargain. Right. Also, don't forget you can have 1 drone on this if you have the skills for it. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there. Actually, let's. Yeah, we'll leave it. Right. Don't forget your afterburner. That will be handy. Right. Now we're all set. We can close the fitting window and no, cancel the undock. Before we do that, do you know what? Almost had a brilliant thing there to show you. Always make sure that says accepted. Otherwise, you'll be finding yourself outside the station going, what? Right, so anyway, now we've done that, let's go ahead and undock. Oh, that was lucky. All right, so now we're going to go and undock. I'm going to fiddle with my cable for my headset so you can actually hear me. So if you heard some crackly cracklies, that was that going off. Right, now we are in space. What we're going to do is get out of the way of all this station a moment. Let's just burn out of there. And let's talk about scanning because this is what we're going to be doing. So first of all, we need to scan down a data site. So let's bring our ship to a halt, and we need our scanning window. So down here is the scan button. Pick your probe scanner window. Right, couple of hints for you. First of all, undock this window. Yeah. Let's just minimize that a moment. Undock this window. Narrow the size down, and I am going to. Ooh, that's a bit big there. Let's move that over, resize that because we don't really need to know all the names of everyone. I'm not really interested in them. Widen this back up a bit. Right, now we can see if we just distance, ID, name. So let's do it the other way around. That's better. So now we have all the cosmic signatures we haven't scanned at the top and all the ones that we know about at the bottom. Right, now if you notice, it says 0%. So these are just literally cosmic signatures. Right, this is the reason why we got 16 probes instead of staying with the 8. If I only had 8 and I launched these 8 now, what's going to happen is I'll have to recall them before I have these reloaded. This way I don't need to. If I launch them now, you'll notice that the probe launcher is actually reloading. So there we go. And now there's 8 more in there, and if you can see, our little probes are now nicely dotted around our ship because we haven't actually told them to go anywhere yet. So first of all, this button here, solar system map, because I minimized mine, we're going to press that once to get rid of it. Now we're going to open it up again. There are a few functions with this map. You can obviously dock it left, dock it right, have it floating as it is now, or go full screen. I suggest not doing full screen because you really want to be paying attention, especially when you're out and about elsewhere. Well, I don't know, you could, as long as you pay attention to what is around you. On a proper scan mission, you'll have your directional scanner open, which is that one down there. You'll have it set to around a 5 AU, 360, and you'll be scanning every now and again to make sure there's nothing scanning you down, because other players do like to try and get you, especially when you're in some of the more expensive ships. Right, now let's talk about our scanning window, shall we? This is the solar system, and as you can see, you can rotate it, you can look up, you can look down, you can zoom in, you can zoom out. This is the entire solar system. So we've got that planet there with the Stargate, two moons, the actual planet, and an asteroid belt. And basically, what we're interested in is none of that. We're interested in these red X's. So let's go ahead and click that one. So if we double click that one, we now have two functions with the map because we are now focused on that signature. That is a cosmic signature. Right, we can this is why I don't like using this one on. Let's just go float in a moment. Down here we've got the two buttons, top view and side view. So we go to top view a moment. Let's grab our scan probes. You literally just click on the square and bring it over and drop it directly over the top of that. And you can zoom in to make sure you are on it properly. And then what we do is we'll double click again. So double click, top view, double click, bottom side view. And then what we want to do is we want to raise this up because obviously we're below the signature. And again, zoom in and you can get it dead on. Right, if we just double click that, let's just put that dead on. So now we should be, that's it. Right, now come down to your scanning window. Let's talk about this quickly. Recover active probes. Once you finish scanning, you need your probes back. Make sure you get your probes back, otherwise you've got to buy more ones. Obviously, this tells you how long your probes will last in space before they go pop. So if they're longer, if you're out in space and your probes are out in space for more than an hour and 4 minutes, they will go pop. This tells you how many you've got in space, 8. This is your scan strength. This can be adjusted using skills. So train those skills up, get this up higher. The bigger the number, the better chance you've got of scanning these sites down easier. This is your scan deviation, just means how much your probe's going to, this signature is going to move around as you're probing. That's the best way I could explain it. And this is your scan duration. In other words, how quick it takes your probes to do a scan. So mine is going to take 8 seconds. Again, this can be adjusted using skill books. So train those skills up. Then we have obviously the scan results. This is the name of the item, how far it is, and well, this will change to what it is once this gets to 25% and above. So anyway, if you notice, there are red rings around these. What we want is we want to make sure that our probes, because we don't want it down here when that red ring is there. So that red ring is telling us that the cosmic anomaly is in this red ring. So this is why we want it center. So anyway, we're going to go up and expand that by moving the probe size. We're going to press analyze. The probes will fly out to this location and scan. Now, if we wanted to manually adjust the probes, if we hold shift, it will give us control over every single probe we've got individually. I suggest not playing around with that until you're a bit more confident with how to actually scan. For now, in fact, to be perfectly honest, I've scanned out level 4 sites using normal scan techniques without having to adjust any of these probe layouts at all. So again, I suggest not really using it for now until you need to later. Right. If you press and hold control, you can adjust the spread of your probes. Again, very handy for narrowing down harder sites to scan, especially level 4 sites later. You probably won't be able to do that with, I'm pretty sure you can't do that with, actually, hold on, no, because these are not, this is an actual core probe launcher, not an actual, like a civilian version, so you do get the benefits of that. But if you've got a ship that actually gives benefits to this plus your skills, you'll find that you can do level 4 sites. So anyway, once we've got all that down, what we're going to do is we'll leave the filter. We don't really need to touch that at the moment, and we're going to click analyze. Our probes will then warp to that location and start scanning, which is now what they're doing. As I said, if you noticed, it will take 8 seconds for that sweep to scan. In that time, fiddle your thumbs, whatever. In fact, actually, that was a bit of annoyance because it's literally pinpointed the data site straight away, and that's a relic site. We don't need that one. We need a data site. The relic one is for the next tutorial. So anyway, we'll click on this one because this didn't pinpoint it. We're going to double click it. We are now centered on that, and we're going to do exactly the same as what we did already. We're going to take our probes, place them on top. We don't have to. And then what we're going to do is we will drop it down a size and analyze again. Is that red circle in there? Yes, it is. So it should be somewhere on this plane in the circle. So now we're going to analyze again. And hopefully that will give us a data site because that's what we need. Nope, it's moved us. Sometimes it'll do this. So we'll move that over again. Let's actually double click on that. Let's make sure we're centered on it because then we know what we're doing with our probes. Move, right, and now what we're going to do is I'm just going to drop that down another. Oh no, we're too slow. We're too low now, so we'll just have to do that for AU, 2 AU. Right, let's just scan this. This is handy actually because we needed one that wasn't going to just scan straight away. Some of these are not always data sites. Some of them are not always relic sites. Some of these, that's a data site. But as you can see, it's now split into two. So what we're going to do is let's just focus on the bottom one. It's the top and bottom. Sometimes these are like left and righty. Let's get that over there like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place this directly in the middle of these two. And then we're going to scan again. We will narrow this down. I could have actually lowered the size of our probes, but we'll leave it large just until it pinpoints at least one of them for now. Yeah, well, as I was saying, some of these are data sites, some of these are combat sites. That's a data site. You can tell because it looks like a bunch of books. We don't need to scan anymore. So what we'll do is always remember this, recover your active probes. And just to check, no probes launched. So what we can do is we can go ahead, press and hold D and right click. Is that not? It's not going to do it, is it? Anyway, right click on it and warp to. Right. Yeah, some of these are gas sites, some of these are combat sites, some of them are relics, some of them are even wormholes. Be careful jumping through wormholes. If you do, always bookmark the wormhole on the opposite side as you've jumped through so you know where it is. Otherwise, you will have to scan it down again. Be careful with wormholes because it puts you in what is effectively nullsec. And it can be very dangerous there. Right, so anyway, we've found our little training container, exactly the same as what it would be on a normal site. So we're going to go ahead and if we hold down control and drag, it will target it. Right, then we're going to click approach. We need to be within 5 kilometers to be able to initiate the hack. Now this is a data site, so the relic analyzer will not work on this. And let's talk you through how to do the hacking. When we get close enough, we can start that off, turn the micro warp drive off, and we should just sit comfortably. Right, this is your game screen. You'll notice we've got the dark circles here. What the idea is you have got to find the core. There will be firewalls you come across. Now the firewalls, you've got to attack it with your virus. This is your virus strength. This is your virus strength. So basically how much damage you'll do to the coherence of the system you're attacking. So if we click that, let's just go ahead and there's a firewall. We're going to come up here. There is a rule of 6 that goes on with this. Let's see if we can find it. Right, none of these have the core. We're going to have to hack the firewall to get access to these 3 dots. So basically, if we look on here, 20 coherence, we've got 10. So it's going to take 2 clicks to actually defeat that. But it's going to do 10 damage to us. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's go ahead and just click that. As you noticed, it just took 10 damage to us. Done 10 damage to us. There are modules that will repair these. They can go in these slots here. You uncover them when you undo these, right? So this will be the this is the This is the core. This is what we're after. Pay attention to the actual icon because that is the core. Once you unlock the core, you don't need to go anywhere else on this board. This is what we are after. So we're going to go ahead and attack this. That's one. Ooh. And two. Yep. Luckily, we managed to hack it before it did damage to us. Now we've unlocked it. What we do is we can just go ahead and open it, or you can left click on that and open cargo. It does the same thing. Or if you right click on the actual thing and open cargo, again, it will do the same thing. Loot all, make sure it's in your cargo hold. Right click stack all, put those probes back together. Right, proof of discovery. We are now ready to go and hand this mission in. In a real data site, you'll be looting items with a rather significant value. Some of them are very, 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 very valuable. Some of the like nullsec relic sites, you can be earning 70 to 80 mil roughly, give or take if you get a good one, per relic site. But not, don't, you won't be getting that all the time. But you know, right, so someone's got their scan probes out. Again, remember, make sure you collect your scan probes. Right, but that is pretty much it. For the scans, if you saw those black dots, basically if you have 6 surrounding one in the center, if you get a firewall in the center, that means that the one of the dots on the outside edge of that firewall, it's called the rule of 6, basically will be the core. If you don't, the core, they're usually safe zones. So anyway, I hope that was a bit more explanation for you. Good luck, see you out on the field, and I'll do the relic site next.